Happy Tuesday! Tonight we are continuing our series on analyzing celebrity walks. Tonight's celebrity is Hailey Bieber. If you haven't seen her walk before and you want to get a little bit more insight before I break it down, you can type in YouTube Hailey Baldwin Runway. That is the video that I'm basing my analysis off of. The very cool thing about this is we saw her runway videos from 2011 all the way to 2018. So her walk evolved throughout those years. There's some things that I think she does really well that you can take and put into your own walk, and some strategies that I would implement that I think would help her walk feel more balanced and controlled. So first, the things that she does really well. I really like her posture. So when she's standing, she keeps that long stretch through her spine and her shoulder blades stay down. So when she's walking, she doesn't slump into her shoulder blades. She keeps the spacing really nice. You always want to think the distance between your ear and your neck and your shoulder, you want to keep that long and stretched, almost like a giraffe. The other thing that I think she does really well is when she walks, she keeps great eye contact. So she's portraying confidence. If you don't feel naturally confident as you're walking, start by focusing on a target, and it will give the look of confidence, and with practice and repetition, you'll start to feel that and embody that more. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the things that I think could enhance her walk a little bit more. The overall picture is there's a slight off balance feeling in her movement and also just holding herself up. So first thing I'm going to talk about is her arms. So earlier on in 2011, you could see that her left arm was very active and her right arm was very stationary. So right now, I bet you're looking at my left arm. That's the thing. If one is so dramatically different than the other, it becomes a distraction. Anything that's loud is where your attention gets pulled to. So you have to think, what do you want to make loud and what do you want to complement? Arm should always be a complement to your walk. So if you find that you have one arm that swings a lot, like she does, what I would suggest, and also what they do with her a lot on the runway, is they give her a bag on that overactive arm, so she has a little bit of weight, and then she balances out by swinging the right arm. For her feet, when she's walking, most of the time she actually walks on 2 tracks, and eventually she starts, through her later years of modeling, to 1 track and a crossover track. When she's walking on 2 tracks, she doesn't move her hips much, but a slight movement, it looks more balanced. But as she starts moving to 1 track and a crossover track, you see that she has a little bit of a harder time keeping her balance when she walks. The reason for this is her left foot, every time she steps across the track, slightly turns in like this. Everybody has one of these things. Either 2 feet turned out, 2 feet turned in, 1 foot straight, 1 foot turned out. We're all built differently, which is completely fine. But when you walk, you want to try and get your knees and your toes pointing as straight as possible. When they're straight, this allows your hip movement to swing easily. If 1 foot's turned in, it kind of creates this little jam, and the flow of your hip movement doesn't look as nice. So that is definitely something that can be trained. You just want to look at yourself in the mirror and see which way do your feet naturally turn, and work to get both your knees and your toes pointing straight. Okay, I would love to hear what you think of her walk and some of the takeaways you've got from this lesson. And then also let me know who you want me to look at next. All right, see you next week.